everyone, and this nice and wide shot is here to show you what I'm wearing right now and a little bit about this specific setup, what went into the design of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and a little bit about how the DCR 822 fits into this scenario, which is why the reason I purchased it in the first place. So like all of us and many of you, I have different varying size of sound packages. One that will fit a whole 24-foot sound trailer for larger scale narrative type work, all the way down to medium-sized packages, to packages that are bag rigs, and now this one. So this is kind of the fourth and most slim setup out of all of my sound packages. Just a little bit of a backstory. 3 or 4 years ago, I started experiencing some numbness in the left arm that turned into excruciating pain, in which I had to get an MRI and so forth. And it turns out that through repetitive use of this shoulder and wearing sound bags throughout many years, some of the cartilage was gone and I had a pinched nerve. So what that meant for me at that point was, I had to rethink how it was that I did anything, especially when it comes to carrying around a sound bag all day. Typically, most of the time, in the jobs I do, I'm working at a cart, and any sound bag type stuff I would carry is not going to be like the duration where I used to. But I still am getting those phone calls and really enjoy those type projects. For instance, I had a job earlier this year where we were doing some sort of commercial for a tractor product. We were going to be in South Georgia in the heat on our feet for about 12 plus hours. It was multiple cameras and GoPros and all this kind of artsy spot. Did raw mid-side recording. We had one talent, I believe, talking at one point while driving a tractor. And the reason why I tell that story is when I got that job, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to carry around a sound bag for 12 plus hours, plus be able to do the things that I need to do with my hands, like put a wire on a talent or move things around or pick things up and go from location to location. So that's when I started taking this harness rig, no bag rig, I'll call it, a lot more seriously. So I already had a MixPre 3, I already had this harness, and I already had the Comtech transmitter that you see here, because obviously even on that job and most jobs, even some of the smaller ones, the clients still want Comtex to be able to hear the talent, even if it's a run and gun situation at times. I invested in the smart battery systems. So I have a 48 watt hour remote audio smart battery here, a Sound Devices MixPre 3, a Betso TCX2 timecode transceiver that can remote roll other devices and send timecode to this unit. Now I also purchased a backup Sound Devices MixPre 3 version 2 because I believe when you go to set, you should never go without redundancy. So therefore, that will keep me from having to bring the Sound Devices 633, for instance, which is my smallest bag package that I have, and I can just put another one of these in the case. Hopefully one Pelican case should fit all of this gear you see here and then some very easily. Finally, on this really cool K-Tech Velcro type pouch, which is a clip, was originally designed to fit the UCR 411A, I have the Lectrosonics DCR 822. You guys have probably seen the 2 videos I released on this particular receiver, but I purchased this receiver with this specific rig in mind. This gives me 2 channels of wireless with vector diversity. It also is capable of working with their D2 and digital hybrid, not digital hybrid, the D2 digital wireless systems, and also is backwards compatible with the digital hybrid wireless systems. So each receiver has 2 RF front ends. I am over the moon with this thing so far. I'm still testing it. You may have seen the live stream I did where I did test it for a full day on a large scale film set. It performed incredibly in a very hostile RF environment. And of course, just the cabling. Here I've got the DCR-822 going into channels 1 and 2 of the MixPre 3. And then channel 3 is designed for a hard line for this boom, because this particular rig, I mean, it's very nimble. It feels like I'm wearing nothing, because I mean, there's really no real weight, you know, on the rig that's noticeable, and it's all directly on the waist and not hanging off the body. I initially had designed this with two 411s in mind, because I know I at least needed 2 Talent Wireless for a very just low profile kind of rig like this, which is another reason I went with the 822 to get 2 channels in 1 unit, because I didn't want to put too much on the harness. I probably could add a BDS system, and I thought about that. Speaking of power, the 48 watt-hour smart battery is powering the Sound Devices MixPre 3. And then that will go all day, by the way. I tested this with this unit on that job. You could probably go 12 hours with just one 48 watt-hour battery to the MixPre 3. The DCR-822, I'm using nickel metal hydride rechargeables right now. And I tested those right around 4 hours and change. You could probably get closer to 6 if you were using lithium batteries. And I did find out directly from Electrosonics that they did test lithium rechargeables by, I believe, iLife, and it came close, a little more than the nickel metal hydride as far as performance, which is something I'll probably look into, and it turns out that it is actually safe for these units. If I need to bend down, as you can see here, it's very easy. It doesn't put any stress or pressure on any of the cabling, and I can take on and off the harness when I need to. And more importantly, I have some extra pouches like this here for wiring, also for clipping on wireless transmitters, which I don't have on right now, but obviously I would run with 2 on this. And you could also choose to do a wireless boom if you wanted to. And in case you feel like if you wanted to just be able to quickly put the boom pole down and not worry about managing a cable. So it's really a work in progress right now, but something I was really excited to share with you guys. I call it my no bag rig. And to me, for 2 channels of wireless and a boom, for a setup like this where I'm going to be using, the client might want Comtex, I could do time-coded cameras, smart slates, everything I can do on a small size shoot with this rig without ever touching or carrying a sound bag. I had this rig on for 12 plus hours with no fatigue, and that's with, you know, having a nerve issue that could flare up and cause problems if I put too much pressure on. You know, just drink lots of water, stretch, and I am probably, this is the most exciting development in my sound packages that I think I've done so far this year. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. And starting to lose light here, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. Definitely subscribe for future upcoming videos. We got some nice stuff coming down the pipe. I appreciate everyone here, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.